All right, so grab a pen or a marker. On this one, I won't do it from scratch, okay? So if you need help, you feel free to come and see me anytime. I'll help you out, okay? So for 1A, I'm just asking you to simplify an expression. So this isn't, it's not an equation just yet, right? You won't find out what n is. But if you take this one here and you set it up like that, the top, n has to be greater than or equal to -5, and at the bottom -3. -3 is, the highest restriction. Like it won't even let it come down to -5. So this is your overall. I'd give this half a mark here for you stating it clearly which one your overall restriction is. And then I notice that the top expression is the bigger one. So I start breaking it down until I get to n plus 3 factorial. I cancel them out. Make sure you have your factorials. It's important to understand that this actually continues, but all of whatever comes after them would keep canceling out, right? That's why we don't bother expanding further. And so you're left with just this. If you FOIL it, right, you got to go like this. That's n squared and actually 4. And then you come here, 5n, and then 20. And so you basically just combine the like terms here, the n's, to give you 9 n's. And so this is what you're supposed to get. So I would give you a mark here for actually simplifying it like that, and I would give you half a mark for this, making it 2 total just for today, to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so basically if you got to this point, it shouldn't be that hard to get to here. Okay, and then the other one, I hope that didn't throw you off, but where are my restrictions? They're right here. The top n has to be greater than or equal to 8, bottom 6, so 8 is the overall. So again, we'll give you half a mark for that, for the restriction. And I notice that the bottom is actually the bigger expression, right? The bottom is, because it's n minus 6, is n minus 8. So I break this one down, n minus 6, n minus 7, n minus 8 factorial, and that cancels out. But if it had been the other way around, we don't bother writing the 1 down, but here you have to, right? Like it's not just that. It's actually a fraction. And then you FOIL this out again, right? n times n squared, n times -7, right? It's -7n, and then you go -6 times n is -6n. Positive and negative and negative turns positive 42. So I definitely take off. How much should we take off? Today, I'll just say half a mark off for the sign, but I think on a test or a quiz, I'd take a full mark off. So you're still learning here. And so this is what I need for your final. So we'll say this: if you are able to expand and cancel, you get that, and then another half a mark for actually simplifying it all the way. So half, 1, half, so it's 2 marks for this whole thing. And then D, I really just wanted you to know, right? Hopefully you have this formula, right? NPR formula on your study sheet. So n, so it's 5 factorial over n minus r. That's 5 factorial over 1 factorial, which is just 5 factorial, which is 120. I will just give you a mark for that. You decide what you want to do there. If you just came up with a 120, I right now was about actually showing this, so I would say no marks if you only have the 120. You must show all work, it did say, right? Okay, now question 3. I know it's messy. I couldn't find my key, so I just had to quickly whip this up. So basically the first thing you want to do, if it's like this, divide out that expression. So I'm dividing both by -1 factorial, gets rid of that. So you basically just left with the 12 on the right hand side. N plus 1 is the bigger expression, so I break that down, I cancel n minus 1 factorial. Just so you know, I did state my restrictions here. So I'd give you half a mark for that. I would give you a full mark if I see you canceling and simplifying, like this whole thing. I'd give you a mark for that step. And then I would give you another mark for actually cleaning it up, simplifying it, and then finding the ultimate solution, which is, this is not it, right? It's n plus 3. N plus 3. Okay. So how many marks? 2.5. I'll change this. I'll give this 1.5 here, because you first have to massage it, right? And then you have to cancel. So we'll give it 1.5 for this whole process here. So it's 2 marks and then a third mark for finding the final solution. And then the check, I did a quick check here. I plugged it into the very original, by the way, not like the very original expression. I plug in n is equal to 3 everywhere, and you get 24 is equal to 24. If you plug it into this, right? I'm talking about this one. Because if n is equal to 3, this is 4 factorial. If n is equal to 3, this is n minus 1, that's 2, right? So it's 12 times 2 factorial, really. And so that's 24 is equal to 24. That's what I always go to the original, not the manipulated form, okay? And question 4, it's indicating, right, that you have first, second, and third. Can I just say something? This is classic permutation, right? Like if it's ever saying, hey, there's 4 positions that people are running for, president, vice president, permutation, right? You can't repeat if it's like specific positions. So first, second, and third place, you would have it like that, which is 1956, 1 mark for that. Skip E for now. We're going to C. In permutation notation, you would say you have 28, we're going to pick 3. 28, pick 3, that's really what you're saying. You should say get the same answer, 1 mark for that. And here it is. Here's the factorial where this one comes from. You ready? I use the formula for permutation. What is the formula? You would write down 28 factorial, right? N over n minus 3 factorial. And that's 28 over 25 factorial, right? 28 factorial. So that's where that comes from. So technically, if you come up with your permutation, it's easy to come up with the factorial notation. But I honestly, I can't see that the province ever has asked for something like that. So I'm not too picky anymore on that, okay? But just come up with your permutation, use the formula, and then there it is. That's factorial. Right, so this is factorial notation there. So it does 2 in 1. You can just plug it in, get your number, or actually plug it into the equation, the formula I should say, and come up with your factorial. So let's add this all up again. I'm going to go to the front so you can like see what's supposed to happen there. So we have 1 mark, 1 mark. So this is 2 for question 4. We made this worth 3 marks. We did not do this one. This one I made worth one. No, did I do this one or this one? D, I did. Okay, so 1 mark, 2, and 2, right? So all these ones we did not do. So you've got 5 for question 1, 3 for question 3, 2 for question 4, 10, right? All right. So at the top, nice and clear, and your name and last name, and I will collect it.